There was not one speaker who didn't drop at least one thing to take away.
Good morning. It's 6:24 in the morning. It is Friday, October 3rd, and we're heading to New York. Yes, we are. I need to hurry up and go get dressed. My train today leaves at 10:28, and guess what? My mom is coming with me this time, which is always helpful for my time management. I love being on time, but she loves being on time more than I love being on time, right? So I need to hurry up and go get dressed. My bag is packed per the always, but the only thing that's not in is my makeup, and that's pretty important. I'll be in New York for almost a week this time, so very necessary. My brushes are actually on the floor drying because I washed them last night because I was like, I just can't keep taking y'all out of town this dirty. Like, I just can't do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our brushes, go upstairs, do our makeup, and pack our makeup bag. We need to be leaving out of here by 9:30. Okay, so we got 3 hours. I do have a very intricate makeup look. Not as intricate as the plaid. Okay. 2 weeks ago, we went to New York Fashion Week and I did plaid eyes. You should go see all about it. It was great. Not as intricate as that. So we don't need as much time as that, but pretty intricate. So I need to get on it. I also need to do my hair. Let's get out of here. Culturecon, here we come. New York, here we come again. On the agenda for when we get back, clean this desk up. But we don't have time for that right now. Just gonna get ready, throw the stuff in Ziploc bags, and leave this wilderness behind. We're heading to the train station. Don't look back here. Keep your eyes on the road. Union Station. Must have smiled. She has a mouthful of donuts.
So good.
She's trying to hide it from you, but it's not working. Anyway.
Peter Pan, you did that.
Yeah, we went to Peter Pan Donuts today. It was delish. Anyways, we are going to Culturecon tomorrow. So we are all here. We're ready. You ready for tomorrow? This is my mom's first Culturecon.
And I'm excited.
Yes, I went last year, but I'm excited because she's here this time, and because I kind of know what to expect. So yeah, and I have a really cool idea for my outfits. Well, not the outfits, but more so the makeup. What are you gonna say?
Same.
We're gonna get up and we're gonna go over there early in the morning. Doors open at 8:30, and then the last thing of the day is like 6:30. So that's about 10 hours of day. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna go to sleep after I take a shower. I can be ready for tomorrow. I'm not gonna do the whole staying up all night thing. We'll be responsible because it's gonna be a jam-packed day.
Are we ready for it?
Brooklyn, we are in you.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Exactly. Yeah. And we are ready for Culturecon. Good morning. It's 7:41 at this time. I just woke up. Obviously, the evidence is on top of my head. I'm missing an earring, all types of stuff. But it's Culturecon day, day one. It's Saturday, and so now I'm going to get ready. I have a very interesting makeup look planned that's going to take some time. So I need to do that ASAP. It's a little bit hard when you're not at home. Like, I love getting dressed at home and then just wearing the makeup to New York. Like, I don't care if I have to wake up at the crack of dawn. I like that better than trying to get ready here because I have to like figure out the daylight coming in and like how I'm gonna do the video. But we got it done for New York Fashion Week, so I'm sure we can figure it out here. I'm going to eat some donuts. We went to Peter Pan Donuts yesterday in Brooklyn. Delish. Okay, so I'm gonna have some donuts for breakfast, and I gotta get ready because doors open at 8:30. I think I'm trying to get there around 9:30. I gotta get ready. It's 9:50. The eyes are coming along. My mom bought me a chopped cheese for breakfast. life is good. Life is good. Okay, so we are heading out. You can see the eyes, the planets, the earth earrings. And yeah, so about to head out, go to Culturecon. Got my little bag, got my very comfortable outfit on. Let's do it.
That mindset of like a go-getter mindset, and the best athletes in the world, we already know how they wake up every morning and what they do and how dedicated they are to whatever it is that they're doing. And I think same in business, you know, the person who's dedicated and willing to do whatever, die by their business or whatever, to go to the ends of the earth for their business, are the ones who are normally successful. So I think athletes and business is like, it's a great mix because you need a lot of those same characteristics in both areas. So it's helped me a lot just because I love what I'm doing. I'm very focused, and I knew that I always wanted to have my own business, my own company. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but when I realized that I loved self-care and I love taking care of myself, and like that's what I really wanted to get into, I would say go for it. Go for what you feel, go for what you know, in your heart, whatever it is, your gut, whatever it is that it's telling you. You really have to push past the fear. So I would say push past, go for it, and see what happens, because what you don't do, right? So nothing happens if you do nothing. Nothing changes if you don't change anything. So I think pushing past the fear and going for it is the only way to be.
Flexibility and the freedom that podcasting allows for you to do that just kind of really resonated with me.
Yeah.
So that's why I started doing it 10 years ago, and it has paid dividends, let's just say.
What makes the show a success is we centered the audience. So the people that we wanted to serve, we bring on the show, right? So you feel like you are a part of the experience from the very first day.
So when you come on Spotify, you have to have a strategy in terms of like consistency. I know everyone wants to be a creator, everyone wants to create a podcast, but the biggest thing is you really have to put the work and really make sure that you have a consistent pace in order for you to grow an audience over time. So with that, it's like, I usually encourage a lot of podcasters to make sure that they're bulking their episodes. Try to have at least like 10 plus recorded in advance, so like you're just ready to go. When you do need to take breaks, you can have those pockets and take certain breaks. But in order to build that success, those first 3 to 6 months is so pivotal that you have to be consistently like just hitting fans over the head, you know, feeding the algorithm over time in order for you to build that audience that you're looking for.
I found the photo. It was September 22nd, 2017 was the day that this gentleman who was running the label, he was a new CEO at the time, he had just come in at the label I was signed to, and there was a rotating of CEOs. So I was tired of like having to meet a new person, another new person, present my idea to them and hope they were gonna like it. So 2017 was my final meeting with the recording label, the traditional label, and that was the day that the meeting was probably like one of the most disappointing meetings that I had ever had, because he decided that he didn't see the vision of what I was trying to work on. But it was one of the best days of my life, because I literally said, the next day I'm gonna go do this on my own. I started Beatbox Entertainment. Level Up was the first song that I launched. And now fast forward to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now almost 4 times platinum and Level Up to this day.
Come on!
And it's the song that keeps on giving, but it was really a song that, you know, really encompassed my journey.
More perfect as you do it, and when you step out and do just the one little thing, everything else starts to open up. So I would say, like, as advice to any creatives or people that are building brands, like, just start with whatever you have, where you are right now.
I have no idea if anyone's gonna come. It might just be me. Like, I might be the only one at the art gallery. I might be the only one on the hike. I might be the only one there. But you have to have that form of vulnerability when creating community, you have to put yourself out there.
And I think for so many people in the audience, they're in those days where they're trying to make it work. And I'd love for you to go back to Taraji and just take us through, what was that like?
I was just fearless. Like, I think I had so much hope because we had like so many people at Howard University, like in real time, working in the industry. We had Marlon Wayans and him and his brothers, and you know, I sat right next to him in Acting 101. You know, Paula J. Parker went on. You know, Isaiah Washington. You know, we had the list goes on and on. I don't mean to brag, but it is the Mecca. But you know, I had so many examples, and there was not a doubt in my mind that I wasn't gonna make it because I saw the same people walk the same halls as me doing the very thing I said I wanted to do. So it was just like, I just was fearless, and nothing could get in my way. Like, I wouldn't allow anybody to steal my dreams. Like, I remember when I became pregnant in college and everybody was whispering and talking trash. And I was like, y'all can keep talking, but watch this. And when it came time to walk across that stage, I carried my son across that stage because nothing was going to stop me. You know? Main thing for me with this brand and the wine is that, you know, sometimes wine can be really intimidating. And I like wine. I know a little bit about wine. But I'm no sommelier. And I think for me, what was inviting and interesting for me is that this is how you can introduce new wine drinkers to wine, because Moscato is easy to the palate. You know, if you don't know anything about wine, a Moscato is good. It's sweet. Ours is not too sweet. But what I love about it is it's great. It mixes it with it's a fun wine. It's like literally my personality. It's colorful. It goes with anything. It gets along with everybody. About her doing the math and getting man to space. And the next question was, well, is she still alive? Can I go meet her? And I did. I got a chance to meet the great Katherine Johnson before she passed. So she got to see her story actualized on the screen. We actually took her to the Oscars, if you remember that year. So it felt like I'd done something good.
For me to thrive, for me to reach the middle class, for me to take care of my kids so they can go to college, is for me to get this good government job. They're sending our people home from those good government jobs. Our existence is political. I know y'all are tired. You know how I know? I'm tired. But I don't have a choice. I know that if we want to preserve a future for upcoming generations, for future generations, this fight is ours. It's not because we chose this fight. Some of us voted in 2024 the right way. Oh, okay. That's my closing. We're political. Get involved.
Let's give it up for the legendary Morris Hustler. Clap it up. Glad to be here, thank you. Absolutely, so we know what we're here to promote. We know you have this amazing show, but first things first, man, we gotta just reflect on the legendary career that you had.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was trying to figure out what my next path. I wanted to play sports when I was in high school. I wanted to figure out what my next path was gonna be, and a friend of mine in my English class told me to come check him out in a play. I saw him in a play, I said, okay, got inspired. My next semester, at a junior college, I took an acting class, and I just took it from there.
I'm curious, what are you most excited for the fans to see about you two? Both of your roles.
Well, I'm new to the show, so first of all, to work with Morris Chestnut, I was like, yes, please. Yeah, I'm excited because I know that they have a complicated divorced, they're divorced. So she's coming in with some new flavor. She's a doctor, a pediatric oncologist, which is a doctor for kids. But she has her own life as well, and she wants to be in the relationship. It's not because she needs it, but she wants it. And they hopefully both want it, but I think we're gonna figure out what Watson really wants when he meets somebody like her.
So I'm excited because this new season, my character, Dr. Mary Morstan, she's just got more going on emotionally with her mom in the first episode. We'll see that she's got some really intense things going on, and so I'm excited for everyone to see that episode. I'm also excited to see the dynamic. You will all get to see the dynamic between myself and Watson and Layla.
All right, it's 8:09 p.m. Look at the eyes. They still sit. They could go for another 2 days, honestly. In the heat. My lipstick's still good because I haven't eaten yet, but I'm about to eat, which is why I'm doing this vlog now. Today was very, very good. Out of 10, what you rated, Mom?
9.7.
9.7. Okay. I'm thinking 9.4.
Well, it's my first time.
Yeah, it's my mom's first time. We got some food from the deli, so she's drinking a smoothie. I'm about to get into it. But all in all, good day. Day 2. We're up and we're ready. We're going to try to get there earlier today. Everybody pray.
And I'm getting coffee today. For sure. Right now.
We are headed out. It is 10:49 a.m. You got your coffee. You feeling good. It's Culturecon day 2. We're going to walk. We have it's less than a mile. So easy money, easy work to the convention. And let's see what today has in store. Got my walk. You said you missed your hat?
I'm missing my hat. That's what I'm missing.
But you got your walking shoes on. I got the whole rest of the week to be uncomfortable. Today I'm gonna just wear these babies.
Oh, okay. You should have gave me these questions before. No, I would say the biggest pivot for me is really just realizing that I don't have to be perfect, and then also deciding that I'm not gonna see myself through other people's eyes. And when you decide you're not gonna see yourself through other people's eyes, then you have to take a look in and make sure you're good. So now I'm in a place where I'm really confident with who I am, the decisions I make. Even if I make a mistake, I'm okay with it because I know it's from my heart. I know I probably, looked at all of the situation before I decided to do what I did, and I forgive myself a lot. So in reality, TV is tough because you film it, people see it, they judge it, and then you start saying, oh God, I have to feel like this because they say so. Well, in this point in my life, I really stand in my truth, so I think that was a big pivotal change for me.
He's also a black designer. He's also in Atlanta. So you guys should check him out. Afro from Amazon.
Talk to me. You better speak your truth, quick.
Actually, the fro, the boots, and the purse from Amazon.
And I'm from DC. Jordan Arthur Smith pants and these boots, I upcycled them myself to match my outfit, and also I create hats. So this is a custom one of the ones.
I knew that was custom. What's your style inspiration? Post-apocalyptic. Talk to me nice. Y'all know the rapture was coming about a week ago. He was already on it. He was already in the future. All right.
Hey vlog! We've got the goods.
Not follow the rules, and when you have to, when it comes to like, oh, I have to work this job for this couple years and then get a promotion, and then I'll be VP of this, and then I'll be like whatever it is that you actually want from life, you have to go after. You have to go after it now.
But you have your chief and rare status of EGOT. You are a Grammy winner, compelling actress. I want more from that. Come on, I saw it. Y'all probably too young to know. What? Yeah, where you raised, girl. Okay. Oh, they woke up now. And now you are an Emmy-nominated daytime talk show host with the Jennifer Hudson Show. That's crazy. Thank you. How do you navigate those first?
Well, I mean, everything is nerve-wracking, but that's passion. If you're not passionate about something, then you're not going to be nervous. So if I'm not nervous, then that's when I get nervous, because if I'm not nervous, I'm going to mess it up. But at the same time, yes, it can be fearful, but my passion is bigger than my fear. It's something that we do face. I feel like it's a individualized situation, but thankfully God blessed me with a child that does support what I do. You know, man, that's a tough one. But you have to be fulfilled too within yourself. Us as women have a right to dream and achieve those dreams. Yes. And know that it is okay too. You know what I mean?
I guess the way I could tell you that it's not God, it ain't got love in it. You dig what I'm saying? That's kind of how I channel the energy that I have for my book. It's not a religious-based book. It's not like I have chapters from the Bible or anything like that. I think it just deals with discernment and wisdom that you get. I feel like men mature a little bit later than females. So I honestly think like my mom and other females in my family, they already had this superpower, this thing about being intuitive and having intuition. Yes. For me and for a lot of men, I think we get that late. So when I recognize it, I just listen to this voice. The way I go home, I'm listening to this voice. What I'm gonna put on, I'm listening to this voice. Just everything is about this voice in my head. Collaboration over being competitive. You know what I'm saying? I like collaborating. So take that with you. The second thing I want to tell you is that when you collaborate with someone, so a lot of times when you're the so-called quote-unquote money behind something, people come with you with these different ideas, different motives and stuff. With me, the way that I have been more successful ratio-wise with my businesses is the people that I partner with and collab with, they have been very, very, very passionate in whatever we're about to do. So when you talk about the vegan pizza spot, I got a guy that literally goes way to New Jersey. We're in Atlanta. Just about this pizza, and he just, man, if you go in there, he gonna talk your ear off about this vegan pizza, and this vegan cheese, and this vegan, and so I end up investing in something that he was so passionate in, right? With Escobar, it's the same thing. My partner, Snoop, she actually went to college at like 15, 16. She went to Vanderbilt, hospitality, like at a high level. She's an expert in hospitality. And so a lot of people, they do restaurants and they do it based off their mom's recipe or local, whatever like this. Right. My restaurant was based on me getting with somebody that understood what hospitality was. And and dining experience. It wasn't like, we gonna figure out the food and all that. And then with everything that I got, even my strip club, the guy that I strip club in Atlanta, he was working at Cheetah's, which is another strip club for like 15 years. So anytime I partner with somebody, I would like for them just to be passionate. That's all they talk about. That's all they want to do. That's how I think I know I'm putting my money in the right place. This is another thing I'm gonna give y'all pregame. Has anybody in here said, man, something told me, where did something told me, don't go here, something told me this. If you think about what something told you was, just find out what that is. Because we all even, something told me, something told me, girl, I ain't know, I wouldn't even come in here tonight. Something told me to come. Whatever that something is, tap into that. So that's what this book is. Find out what that something is. Find out what everybody told me. Something told me to come to this. Something told me to come. Somebody wasn't gonna come here today. And then something told you to come here today, and now you run into me. That's what that is. You dig what I'm saying? Now you feel me. That's what it is. I wasn't even gonna come up there today. I ran into 2 Chainz. You know you gonna be. Something told me to come. Bam! I done put the game all the way on you. And now you gonna flourish and just be so prominent and be great at everything.
I know that's why y'all give it up for 2 Chainz.
And she got her Nike Run Club going. She's winning
first place.
Yeah, she's winning the challenge right now for
Your
our
walking
family.
weekend.
So. Culturecon Day 2 was a success.
It was. I saw 2 Chainz talk about his book he wrote.
She loved it. She loved it.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So now we have a little bit of downtime. Got to move some stuff, go get our bags, do blah, 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 blah. But that also gives us downtime to talk about our recaps.
Yes.
Because we went to bed last night. We said we're going to talk about this later, and yeah. So let us get home. Oh, outfit by MACY'S. Of course. Don't look at my feet, okay? We went comfortable. Bag from Akira. The glasses from my eye doctor.
Hey y'all, I got me a hoodie. It's nice. Really look at that little pocket right there. Look at that pocket right there.
It is a pocket right here.
Ooh, it's nice.
Culturecon merch.
It's oh, it's so nice.
Turn around, show us the back. Yeah, matter of fact, show us the pockets. Show us the pockets.
Pocket 1, who is deep. Pocket 2.
Oh,
you ever seen
that's different.
With this many pockets? Pocket 3, pocket 4. You always seen it? Look at this, the space. You know we love the space theme because we got those from the Air and Space Museum in Houston where we went. You remember that?
Yeah. It's probably on the back of his jacket right here. Let me see. Yep.
Space patch.
NASA.
We went to NASA. Yeah, they did a big one with this. Look, and it's still.
That's what.
And this is size down for me.
Skinny legend.
Skinny out in these streets. Yeah. I got the big hoodie like I like, so nobody can see who I am. When I get on the airplane, don't talk to me.
Right.
When I get on the train, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Right.
Who said what? Who said that? I don't see nobody. Yeah.
This is a great commercial. They need to have this on their marketing.
I like it. And I met the designer. So nice. So chill. So nice.
Yeah, the pockets alone make it.
The quality of if you feel it, you're like, wow. It's weighted, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm going to just burn up in it. But it feels so good.
Okay, now we're going to wrap up with some Culturecon commentary and just things we thought throughout the days that we couldn't quite, tell you as we were living it, right? So we're going to start with, I got the schedule here so we remember everything that we saw. Unfortunately, we missed Miss Cheryl Lee Ralph, okay? And I'm hurt about that, but I'm hoping that, I get another opportunity to see her. We got there in time to see Sierra, and that was great. That was fantastic. She talked a lot about faith, not even in the way of like talking about faith, but it all came back to faith. Not like this is what faith is and, let me just preach. She was talking about her experience. And I think that that's something, that was the best technique we saw for speakers all weekend. That's my personal opinion. What you think, Mom?
I think it was really insightful because she kept stressing, it works for me. You got to do what works for you and not one size fit all solution. I'm not telling you to do this because I did it, but I'm telling you why I did it, and it worked for me. And I think she urged everybody to find out what works for them, which was very smart.
Yeah, I really appreciated the speakers who told their story and we got lessons from their story instead of just telling us, buzzwords or things they thought that we wanted to hear. Like, sometimes you say cliches, so you're like, this is gonna really hit with the audience. But like, and it does, but also like it's some real power in telling your story of like, yeah, I went independent because my contract was up, or I think it was the record label didn't want to sign me, so I went independent. Next thing you know, I was on a flight to New Zealand and I was doing all these different things for this song, and it was my biggest song. That sort of thing is special. Mm-hmm. And I like Sierra, so
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah, we saw Sierra, and then who else did we see?
Taraji was right behind her.
Taraji was right behind her.
And Taraji was
2 hours in between.
Where is it? But it seemed like they came back to back on the same stage.
We kept switching stages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We definitely did see the Spotify Talk of the Town, starting and scaling your video podcast empire. Mm-hmm. That's with Scott Evans, Melissa Ford, and that was a really good panel. Even though I don't plan on starting a podcast, I never have. My cousin has a podcast, so I was like, I'll take some notes from her. That's the thing about Culturecon. You're learning about things that you would think, like, this has nothing to do with me, but you can always learn from somebody. You can always learn from something. Mm-hmm. Like, there were lawyers, singers, an astronaut spoke today. Well, not to spoil, but an astronaut spoke today. There's people from all different walks of life, podcasters, creators that are like me, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all that. But then there are people who are like doing marketing for corporate companies, people who are in finance. So that was really cool. So they were talking about their podcast empire. And I even learned some things about Spotify podcasts that I did not know. Then we saw Taraji P. Henson. That was really good too. I like Taraji P. Henson. Taraji P. Henson's from the same place I'm from. She always feels like an aunt to me. Like when I hear her talk, I'm like, okay, great. Like we're in Southeast all of a sudden. I don't know. She spoke at my college graduation. And TPH came to Howard. This is after I graduated, but they invited me. So I got to meet her then. So I hear her talk, I'm just like, so familiar. But I like what she had to say too.
I always think that Taraji is a breath of fresh air because she sticks to who she is. And what she has to say is always said in a way that I think is in love. And it's pretty simple. It's plain. It's no frou-frou. She's not pulling stuff out the sky. Mm-hmm. It's not,
she's a true black elder.
Yeah, it's not philosophical, but it's very wise. And I always enjoy hearing her tell a little bit of her story, because she did tell some of her trials and tribulations. But she also, kind of said some stuff that, made you think. And I appreciate her for that.
I agree. And then who else did we see? Dating advice from the group chat. Okay, now y'all, I did not want to stay for this because I do not like dating advice. I don't like dating content at all. But I do like Serena and Cordell. And we already see this, so I was like, I'm going to stay for them. I'm going to stay for Cordina. And, that was very interesting. It was very insightful. I'm not mad that I stayed. Because usually, dating content can get so exhausting. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, just do what works for you and be. Pray and be. That's all I can tell you what to do. But it wasn't painful. And they did a live Q&A. And live Q&A scared me really, really bad. Because you never know who's going to get up and say what. And the live Q&A wasn't chaotic. Yeah. And live Q&As can get very chaotic because you never know what's going to happen.
Especially on that topic.
Yeah, when somebody got the mic and that's not planned. But
well, on this topic, I've been out of the dating pool for a couple of decades, not centuries, but a couple of decades. And so I wasn't very interested in it, but I was...
Not the target audience.
No, I'm not the target audience, but I was curious to see what was he a dating coach?
Dating coach.
N.Y.
White is a dating coach.
A dating coach had to say, because that's a new thing for me. My generation, we didn't have dating coaches. I think it was your mama or your cousin or your auntie who hooked you up and, who introduced you to your person. But he did say something that I agree with. And it's something it's a word that I've been using quite often, and I heard it all weekend, and it's pivot. Sometimes when things don't go right in our job, career, relationship, people want to continue to do the same thing to get the same results. Sometimes you just got to leave it right there, kick it to the side, step over it, and move
about
on.
face.
And just pivot. What the word says, pivot. It's not a complete circle. But it's a turn that'll get you kind of out of unstuck. It's a turn that'll get you unstuck. So when he mentioned that in his answer, I perked up my ears a little bit. Maybe I can pass that information along because it is free advice from a real dating expert. So but it wasn't, I'm not the audience for that, but I did hear something that made me think, oh, he may be able to help people who are really interested in being married or dating.
Also, the term dating coaching, that is a whole new idea. I think in general, but not because there's always matchmakers. But I think seeing it so close up and seeing somebody who's a content creator makes content around that. And I have to remember, people don't have the moms, they don't have the aunties, they don't have the grandmas. So I could see where there could be a need for that.
Yeah, and I won't say surprised, but when I heard the information that he was dishing out, and he also coupled it with statistics. It wasn't something that he was just pulling out the air saying, oh, do this because I said so. He seems to have a wide range approach that is coupled with statistics and science, backed by a little bit of luck, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't dated in a while, so I haven't needed this. But interesting, very interesting.
What was next? Oh, I did go to Script to Screen, the secret sauce to short form video. That was pretty interesting too, just to see, because the video type is different. It was more documentary style than what I do. But like I said, there's some, you can always learn from somebody, and it's so interesting what you can take from people who do even something that's kind of like yours, but totally different stylistically. Oh, I think we went to the activation alley. You went and got in line for coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she went and got in line.
I was waiting.
Yeah, she got in line for coffee for a while, and I went and took B-roll, so I wasn't here for some of these. And then we came back around Culture as Political Resistance, Who Gets to Tell the Story, and that was the Native Land podcast. So that was pretty interesting, too. I've never listened to the podcast. I'm not really in the podcast, period. And, their niche is interesting because they're talking about politics. And they're talking about it in a way that they say, I appreciate that they say, hey, we want to make it accessible to everybody. They're like, you don't know all these acronyms. You don't know what DOJ is. Like, luckily I do because I live in DC. So I feel like I know more acronyms than the normal average American. But yeah, like that's really important too. And she was like, hey, who in here doesn't care about politics? She was like, matter of fact, let me not even ask that. She said, who thinks that everybody needs a roof over their head? Who needs access to food? Healthy food, those sorts of things that are basic average needs that most people agree with. And she's like, okay, all that's political. And I was like, eat it up. Because people always say they're not in politics. I'm like, you are politics. You are in politics. So, And then creative genius Morris Chestnut. Morris, humble king. It was interesting too. And he was just talking about his career. He talked really lovingly about his wife. It was beautiful.
Morris has 2 shows on TV right now at the same time.
Yeah, because his cast for Reasonable Doubt, it's funny because last year when I was here, his cast for Reasonable Doubt was up there. This year the cast for Reasonable Doubt was there. We were in another panel at that time, but he was the moderator. Then he came back later to be the interviewee because of his new show Watson, which I think I'm gonna watch because it sounds like it has something to do with crime and doctors, or maybe just doctors. I don't know. I like doctor shows and I like crime shows, so I'm gonna support the black man. That's something they say every time I come to Culturecon. They're like, please watch our stuff. Like, that really matters. If you want to see more voices like ours on TV, you got to give us the ratings. So I'm gonna lock in. But that was day one. Any other thoughts from day one? The atmosphere, what you expected. We saw a lot of Ragdolls. Shout out to the Ragdolls.
I'll be honest, I didn't have any expectations. I know Lauren really enjoyed last year's Culturecon. She talked about it, all the things that happened. So I couldn't conceptualize what it would look like and what it would mean. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like to sit down and listen to people talk. I don't like talking myself. So when she said folks gonna be talking, I was like, oof. But you know what? I made it through. I will say that the content was amazing. For a couple of reasons. One, I thought the presenters were very gracious with their time and their experiences. And they were not just talking at the
I think they all tried to relate. Like, nobody got up there and was talking down. It was like, you're not doing nothing right. They all tried to relate. And
I think they were genuinely talking with.
They're not the ethos. What is it? The emotional one. That's ethos, ain't it? Or is it pathos? Ethos, pathos, logos.
They were very relative. Like, They tried to make their experiences relative, even though they didn't know who all was in the crowd. But they say, hey, here's what I've done. Here's what's worked for me. And I encourage you to keep going. And I thought they also, with being genuine with their experiences, they gave knowledge and information that you could use. Like, hey, this will work for anybody.
And information that they had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I bought this lesson, so you can borrow it.
Yeah, don't do this. And I think Jennifer Hudson says she had some very expensive lessons. And, when somebody can say that, but the thing that they all said was, I did it once. Shame on me. I didn't do it again. So that was something that I think that the audience could say, you know what? It's okay to make a mistake, to fail, but don't keep making the same mistake. Try something different, do something, a little different next time. But I think the content was 10 out of 10. I think the speakers, what they had to say was simply a blessing. It was a blessing to the audience. And I'm not a person of the target audience for Culturecon, but even I, put some things in my pocket and took away with me from the speakers. So it was 10 out of 10. I didn't have any expectation. I was like, I'm gonna be in the atmosphere. I'm in New York. I'm going with Lauren. Hey, it's gonna be fun no matter what. That part did exceed my expectation because there was not one speaker who didn't drop at least one thing to take away. And that's very difficult for 2 days of just talking nonstop. That's a very difficult thing to say or to do, to come away with. Is like, oh, we had 100 people speaking and all 100 had something great to say. That's hard. That's difficult. And I think everybody who spoke, who at least I heard speak, had something very
And I feel like everybody
beneficial.
who spoke gave glory to God. Like, I feel like everybody got up there.
God was in the
everybody got
building.
up there and they
He
were
was in the
like,
atmosphere.
yo, by the way, God, and can I tell you, God, and let me just let you know, God. And if you need help, God, and if you feel like you don't need help, God. Like, so that was interesting.
definitely in the building.
There was a lot of preaching, but not preaching at you. Just like a
truth. Just dropping truth bombs all over the Culturecon event. And I think that was the case for the atmosphere too, because the people walking around talking to each other, the vibe was just real relaxed. It was just really.
What Touché say? God is love.
Yeah, God is love.
And there was no like meanness, no nastiness.
absolutely.
Everybody was just like,
I
I
like
love
what you
your
got on.
outfit.
I love,
I
you
love
look so
you.
good.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And not in a networky way. I mean, I feel like there's always going to be a little bit of a networky air at any event where there's lots of people, especially lots of young people, because everybody's trying to get on and trying to find their way. But it was just like genuine, like, I like your dress. No, I like your eyes. No, I like your this. No, I like your that. And I think creatives also naturally get that because they see your outfit and they can see, that you took some creative risk that maybe the average person wouldn't take, but they understand the risks because they take the same risks. So Culturecon was good. It was good. Now day two was today. Yesterday we got there like 11:30. Today we got there a little bit later. Maybe
we got earlier today.
Maybe like 11.
Yeah, we got there 11 today.
Yeah. I think the doors opened earlier yesterday, so we felt like we missed more. But today the doors opened later, so we were like, we didn't miss that much.
We were there early because they said that merch was going to open at 11. I had to wait like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So my mom was in there for merch, but the merch stand was in the room, so you could still hear the people who were talking. And the lady was talking about, so the theme was take space, right? The lady was talking about literally going to space. And it was a whole panel full of people, and they were talking about some really cool things. But what stood out to me was she was talking about, a black woman who designed the spacesuit. And how the spacesuit has been looking the same way for decades. And then she came in and was like, hey, why don't you put zippers in the seam so that you have to take all your clothes off every time you remove something? And just that innovation by which diversity brings. I don't know if I use by which right, but that's all right. I got the English master sitting right there.
You're fine.
Diversity brings that sort of innovation. If you don't have these people in the room, then you don't have a lot of the other stuff that comes from them from the room. And then who came up after that? Portia Williams. I did not know. Imani, I don't know much about her story, but I did yesterday watch the podcast before I went to the Culturecon. I know more of the Culturecon story than her personal story. And so I was watching Jeanette Reyes and Mona. They have a podcast, and she was on it. She was the guest, and it came out recently, which was great marketing on their point. But I was listening to the podcast and hearing some more about her backstory. And last year, it was her and her parents. And I really did it. I do know a little bit about her personally because of that panel. I really enjoyed seeing her and her parents, and because I have parents who really, really support me and are very much into the business, and I could just relate to her seeing her parents. That's something I would do. If I had a convention, I'd be like, I'm having a segment with me and my parents, and we're going to chit chat, and there are people of faith, and her dad was preaching, and it was just a whole thing. I loved it. And so then I watched the podcast and learned even more about her backstory. So what I did not know is that Portia was her client, that she was Portia's publicist for a couple of years. I did not know, probably more than a couples too, so more than that. I did not know that. I did not know that she was their publicist. So her interviewing Portia had a very interesting dynamic, because they know each other. It's not like, oh, I just came here because, you know, they told me black people gonna be here, and you know, it was like, oh, this is this girl that I know. I feel like she was really open when answering questions. She talked about Real Housewives. She talked about her dating life. She talked about things that she learned in like life, her businesses, all the things. My friend Cameron was on a panel, and she's a lawyer, and she's building an app, and it's talking about, you know, contract law and helping out influencers really. So she was on a panel. So I was like, I gotta be, you know, a lot of the things on the schedule were things I wanted to see, but if I didn't see it, then, you know, but I know her personally, like I've met her before, so I was like, I have to go to her panel. So I went to her at 1:00. And they were talking about law, trademark law, criminal justice law, things that creators need to do and think about before they sign contracts. Like the thing about always check the contract because it may not match the email. It seems simple when you say it, but if you really think about it, like when you're emailing somebody back and forth for weeks, you're like, I don't really need to read over this contract so hard because we've been talking about this for weeks, but you just never know. And I was like, that is a very practical piece of advice. And they were talking about state trademark and state law, which DC is not a state. Fun fact. So we don't really have as much, you know, thing about state to state stuff, but it's still interesting to know to put into your pocket. And they had a lot of experience. A lady had her practice for 12 years. I thought that was really cool. That's what I was saying. It's not just influencers, not just celebrities, lawyers. We sat in on a law panel. What else did we sit in on? We sat in finance a little bit later about how to get funding, capital funding. That was really cool to hear them talk about funding and the money side of things, because everybody was saying have big dreams, be fearless, blah 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 blah. And then you need those lawyers and those money people to come in and be like, yeah, but dream big, but that's also going to cost money. And I'm not telling you to stop. I'm telling you, let's find some money. ? And one of the lady from the TD Jakes Foundation gave out some really practical advice that I don't hear a lot of people talk about in the finance space, especially like business finance. She said, you need to have your personal finance in order. She said, because that's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at your character and integrity. And I think a lot of people are just like, let me just get a whole bunch of money. And it's like, you're going to blow that money. You're going to blow. What you do in little is what you do in a lot. And it's funny because she said that, and that's a scripture that I love. What you do in little, you're gonna do in a lot. I mean, that's a paraphrase. That's Lauren translation, but that's what it says. Hey, if I can trust you with $2, okay, I could probably trust you with 20. But if I can't trust you with 20, why would I trust you with 20,000? I was like, yeah, people usually skip over that. They're like, here's how you get the investors. What else?
And then we went back to Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, we went 8. We actually ate today.
Yeah, we got some from the food truck. It was delicious.
It was good. The bathrooms were also 20 out of 10, by the way. I wanted to record the bathrooms, not the inside, but just the outside. But it was so hectic.
Thoughtful.
It was like not porta potties, but like little trailers.
Mm-hmm. Clean.
Full of bathrooms.
Clean every time we use it.
Faux hardwood floor.
Wood door.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we went
clean.
to the bathroom.
Did I say clean? How many times did I say clean?
We went to the bathroom. We went to get some food, and then we went to go see Jennifer Hudson, and we also saw 2 Chainz.
Let's talk about Jennifer. Don't skip past.
I'm
her.
not.
Okay.
Jennifer, I really like Jennifer. Just like I was saying earlier with Sierra, telling her story. Sometimes all you need to do is tell your story. You don't need to make it so packaged where you're like, this is what you need to do, and these are all the buzzwords. Just tell me a story, and the things that you encountered, the things that you experienced, even if it's things I'm like, oh, I would not want to encounter that. Even that's a lesson. Like, okay, let me not do it the way that you did it, because that don't sound attractive to me. Yeah, I really enjoyed what she had to say. Did they have a Q&A? No, they didn't have a Q&A. But the question that the interviewer asked was so, I think, unique that it made me think that it came from the audience, where she was saying, as a mother, how does this work? We know that you're an EGOT winner. We know that other things that you've done in business. We understand that, but there's another side to you, which is being a single mother. And there's a lot of people in the audience that probably, relate to that. And I do think that in the creator space and in the business space, period, that is an underrepresented market, even though it's very, very prevalent. Like, people have kids. Like, everybody who's there is not 19 years old. And even if they're 19, you can still have kids 19 years old. But everybody at Culturecon is not teenagers, super, super young. Like, there are people with spouses, kids, and they're trying to juggle a whole bunch of things. Taraji P. Henson also spoke to a little bit about being a single mother and how people counted her out because she got pregnant in college and she took her son on her hip across the stage. So I just thought that was really, really cool. I don't have kids, but I don't know. Somebody, when she answered that question, I was like, that's real, because that needed to be said, but little people think about it. It's little thought of by people. But yeah, I really enjoyed what Jennifer had to say. I did not understand. She got an Oscar off her first movie. I did not know that she got an Oscar off her first movie.
Yeah,
and a Grammy off her first album.
Yeah.
Put some respect by Jennifer Hudson's name.
She can sing.
Yeah. And then last, Mr. 2 Chainz. I want to say Mr. 2 Chainz might be my favorite speaker of the entire weekend.
For sure.
Yeah, he was talking about his new book, which is The Voice in My Head is God. And wow. Wow. Once again, told his experience in a way that you could learn from it, but it wasn't so... Let me figure out what the people want to hear. It's like, nah, let me tell you something. Like, he was telling so many things about the vulnerability that it's taking to have this new documentary that he has coming out, this new book. He's like, I'm usually happy-go-lucky, like Mr. Make the Jokes, and like, this is heavy for me, but I'm peeling back layers. And I think that's really important to see, because there are a lot of men at Culturecon, a lot of black men. And I think it's, pretty cool to see a black man being like, look, I was kind of trying to avoid this trauma, but actually I'm going to just heal from it, and I'm going to peel back the layers. And it is still a little hard for me, but like, I'm glad I did it. Like, okay. And especially a rapper. Like, especially a rapper. I think that was really cool to see. His book, I do have a couple books in the queue that I want to read. I definitely want to buy it, even if I don't get to, put my eyes to the paper for a couple of months. Yeah, he talked about God again. Love that.
I agree. 2 Chainz was my favorite one because he was so unexpected. I thought he was gonna come and sing, to be honest with you.
And to be fair, they said musical guest 2 Chainz. So it's like, it's not that we were just thinking like, shut up and sing, because that's what you do. No. But like, it just wasn't said like what he was coming for. So that was a little surprise to us.
Yeah, but when he started talking about his book and the title and a few things about his life that he's now opening up about, he even got really vulnerable on the stage when he was talking about an issue with his mom, and he could barely get through it. And I was like, wow, like, so all of the speakers were fantastic. Every panel, like I said, I took something from each and every person. I think for 2 Chainz, I like the storytelling. Yeah. I like the way he told.
The thing about, he said he never got a C until he went to college, and he only got a C because he was like, I just want to see how the other people are living. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
He has a very unique way of storytelling, and that's what drew me in even closer to his story. And it was funny, it was witty, it was gritty, all at the same time.
And beautiful. He told us how he proposed to his wife, and I was like, oh.
But totally
unexpected.
Like, you could not have prepared us for what he was going to bring to the stage. And that element of surprise and awe was like, oh, wait.
It was a perfect way to wrap.
It was
the last person.
It was a good way to close out. I think everybody, men and women alike, could take something with them from his story. I do plan to get the book and read it. And
wasn't needed.
And read it. Yeah, because I'm intrigued. Because, you see him and you're like, he's a rapper, but then he's also an entrepreneur. Like, he was talking about a few
of his degree in psychology.
He was talking about a few of his business ventures, and you're like, oh, so that's how you do that. So 2 Chainz, it's a lot of layers there. He's very layered. So that was the cherry on top. That was the plus for me. Even with like Taraji, the more you think there's still something else. All the names, Sierra, the big names, Jennifer Hudson, you're like, oh, they've been in, the public for so long. We think we know their stories. Over 2 decades. Yeah, we know their stories. We've seen them in times of good and bad and, grief and happy. So you think there is nothing left that you don't know as a stranger, but there is. And it's good stuff. Shout out to the people who put this together, because it was an event worthy of all my time for 2 days, all my energy for 2 days. Didn't get overwhelmed with people talking.
And that's a feat. Like, I gotta know her to know. That is a feat.
I was even more satisfied that the audience who this is put on for, and there was a lot of younger people there. Like, at one point in time, I thought I was the oldest person in the room, and I probably was, but that's okay. The young people in the room, like, I was so happy that they got this stuff to take with them, because it needed to be said and it needed to be heard. And I was so grateful that there were so many people sharing so much goodness with them. That really warmed my heart. And that's something that I think I give two thumbs up for that, because that it's probably something you can't plan for in the room. You know what I mean? When you're putting everything together, and you're putting the speakers here and speakers there and the topics. You can't plan for that. But I think it was the biggest takeaway, for sure.
Yeah, I loved Culturecon, just like I loved it last year. I think I've met even more Ragdolls this year than I met last year. Shout out to all the Ragdolls who came up and talked to me. Guess what? There's probably some who saw me and didn't come up and talk to me. Love you too. The outfits, my mom really loved, because it's her first year. So she was like, whoa. The outfits, the hair, the everything, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, all in all, Culturecon, I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 10.
Thanks for taking me, Lauren.
Yes, I had a good time. So this is the end of the Culturecon vlog. We're signing off in our Culturecon merch. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe down below. We're working towards 100,000 subscribers. Okay, I would love a YouTube plaque under my Christmas tree. Just being honest. And you have the power to help me with that. Just saying. They talking about shooting your shot at Culturecon. I'm working on it. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias at Ragdolls, the same way it's spelled down below. And if you like this vlog, let me know in the comments, because I'm vlogging a little bit more. We just did a New York Fashion Week vlog, and I think after this we'll have an Advertising Week vlog. So let me know. I'll keep doing them. And I'll see you in the next one.
Peace.